Welcome back to Live Inside the Booth. Another great show for you today. Listen, we got two guys, one from the DFW, one from Central Texas area. We're going to talk about basketball, games of the week, players to watch, coaches, etc. We're gonna get it in. We got Umana is going to be talking about the Dallas Metroplex area. We got Brandon Jenkins. He's going to be talking about the Centex area, Central Texas area, the Austin, Killeen, San Antonio area. So without further ado, let's get these guys in here. Let's talk some basketball. We're going to talk high school basketball, games of the week, players to watch, coaches, maybe who might not be getting as much credit as they should be getting, and just guys who've been catching their eye. So let's go ahead and get these guys inside the booth. Let's talk some basketball. Listen, if you're watching, you got the chat room right there on the side. If you got a question for these guys, hit that chat, type in your question. We might be able to ask them right here on the air with you all. And at the same time, do us a favor. Make sure that you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so that you'll know before anybody else who will be having inside the booth and when we'll be going live. So when it does happen, all you got to do is click the button. Besides, it's just a good way to support. And as you're doing that, if you care to hit the share button so some friends and colleagues might be able to see it, that'd be great as well. But definitely, hopefully, you show some support for Inside the Booth. You appreciate what we're doing, and just hit that subscribe button for us all. But right now, let's get Ani and Brandon inside the booth, and let's roll with it, right? Ani, Brandon, what's happening?
What's good? What's good, Coach?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Everything's been good on this end. Look, I've been wanting to talk about some basketball. We've been wanting to get basketball, right? We talk about the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort Worth, the Metroplex area. We talk about Central Texas with Austin, Killeen, San Antonio. And hey, I think Pflugerville is up somewhere. Is Pflugerville in that area somewhere close to it, Brandon?
Yeah, about 20 minutes out.
There it is. So we want to talk some basketball in these areas. Kind of talk. I had Coach Gregory on yesterday. He was inside the booth yesterday from Mansfield Timberview.
Yeah.
Right, I think number 3 in the state.
Yeah,
of the state right now. Man, I love this conversation, man. I love this conversation about as far as how he builds his culture and his philosophy with basketball. He pumped up his kids and said, look, man, they might not be Kansas or Duke, but these guys can play. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys got to say as far as talking about the players, the teams that we got matched up. So the people in the Metroplex area, even in the Centex area, can understand where you guys would be at or what games to go watch and see. So without any further ado, matter of fact, Ani, if you'd like to go first, just kind of introduce yourself, give the communication on how they can where they can follow you at on Twitter and any social media or anything else, and then we'll go to Brandon, then we'll get started.
All right, so I'm on Umana. I'm with 5statehoopreport.com as a scouting service. So I cover Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Louisiana. And you can follow me on Ani_Umana on Twitter. And you can go to 5statehoopreport.com to see all the articles I write. Okay. All right. And there it is with Ani. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm Brandon Jenkins. I'm the lead scout for Prep Hoops Texas. We just started about a couple of months ago. You can follow me at Brandon_Jenkin5. 5 replaces the S. And you can see all the articles that I post. I usually post my links almost every day over there. And feel free to go check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But everybody should be following you, man. You guys are going to be you guys give a lot of information. You guys go to a lot of games, and you see a lot of players. So definitely want to make sure everybody gets a chance to follow you. So let's start out with games of the week. Some of the games in the week of the week, whether games that's pretty much coming up or however what's happening, and start with the Metroplex area, Ani. So let's give us something. What are we talking about? Who are we looking at here?
So the game of the week for this weekend is Duncanville versus J.J. Pierce, and that's at Pierce. So you're talking about a team like Duncanville, who's number 1 in the state in the 6A, versus Pierce, who's number 7. And then they're 1 and 2 in the district. They're in the 6A District 8. You got 3 high major prospects in that game, and it's gonna be a good one. Last game, Duncanville came out, they won. I think it was like a 1-2 possession game, and I think at Pierce it's going to be another tight one.
Okay. So Duncanville and J.J. Pierce. Now, Duncanville started out kind of rough earlier in the year, didn't they?
Yeah, well, when you got you had Micah Peavy, Jemias Ramsey, Derek Luna. I mean, talking about like 4 or 5 new players, and it takes time. Like Coach, it takes time for the kids to build chemistry, build some continuity, and they took some tough bad losses early, but it's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Exactly. And does JJ Pierce have some guys? Anybody that we can talk about that a little later. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, Drew Timme, Gonzaga signee. You're always in good shape if you got Drew Timme on your team, and he's always going to lead the pack and make sure Pierce is in good shape.
Yeah. He's not bad at all. He's not a bad player.
No. So Drew gets things done.
Yes. Who else? What other? Give me another game that we just follow before we go to Brandon. Give me somebody else that we might be able to.
Another one.
Now, hold on a second. That Duncanville game, that Duncanville and JJ Pierce game is on Friday?
Yeah, Friday at 7:30.
7:30. We're at JJ Pierce?
At Pierce, yes.
Woo! Okay, Friday, 7:30, Pierce. Okay, who we got?
So next one, this kind of you could say under the radar game, Louisville versus Hebron. That's at 7:30 at Hebron. So you got number 1, number 2 in that District 6, in that 6A. Louisville, who won 6 games last year. Now they're number 2 in their district. And you got Hebron, who's number 3 in their district. Louisville, they have Keontae George, the freshman, that's been putting up some pretty big numbers this year. I think averaging over 20 points a game. You got KJ Pruitt, who transferred in from Universal Academy. He runs the point for them, been doing a pretty good job with them. And then Hebron, they have Logan McLaughlin, real junior. He's been putting up really good box score stats, been leading the charge for Hebron for the most part. Saw him at the McDonald's Invitational. He did a really good job. And then they have the other kid that signed Fort Smith out of Arkansas. So gonna be a good matchup. I mean, Louisville's really come along, changed a lot, and Hebron's always a really good game.
So, and that's Friday as well. What time is that one?
That's at 7:30 at Hebron.
7:30 at Hebron. 7:30 at Hebron. Man, everything is 7:30. I wish, man, I think it would be awesome. This is just me talking out loud. If they had an arena, because Dallas has plenty of arenas up there, where they could just run games all day long, so you ain't got to miss a game. You ain't got
you can just sit down right there.
Man, that would be if somebody ever came up with that concept, man, people gonna be in that thing all day. I know they got to worry about how they gonna split the money up, but it's okay. It's okay.
Right. When they get logistics, they get off.
Yeah. So Brandon, give us a couple games, 2 games up there in the Central Texas area that people need to be looking forward to watching tomorrow night.
Well, the game of the week will take place in San Antonio. It will be O'Connor, the Panthers of O'Connor. They will be at a neutral site facing San Antonio Brennan. And O'Connor comes in 21-7 overall with a 12-2 record in district, which has them second in district UIL 6A District 28 play. And then you have Brennan, who is 21-6 overall, 13-1 in district play, and they're first. So it's going to be the battle for number 1 in that district. Some key players from O'Connor, Brennan Wenzel, the UTEP signee. He really shoots the lights out the ball. He can easily get hot and shoot his team into a victory. They also have other players like the sophomore Adam Ben-Hayon. He averages 9 points per game. He can add an extra boost on the offensive end. And then they have Brandon Jones, a 5'9" senior, who puts his teammates in the position to score. And then you have Brendan, who has multiple scores as well, specifically the senior guard, Jakari Sanders. He's the returning leading scorer, and he came back for his senior year ready to kill. He averages 20 points per game and 5 assists, so he really knows how to score and facilitate at a high level. And then you have Norman Beckford, who when I was checking his stats, he's only been playing. This is his 7th game of the season, so he averages 16 points per game and 8 rebounds in his first 6 games of the season. So it'll be
Norman hurt, Brandon?
What'd you say, Ani?
Was Norman hurt? Was he hurt?
I guess. I didn't see anything about injury, but I was always looking for him, but I couldn't figure it out where he was. But apparently he just came in the second part of this spring semester, and he came in with a vengeance, 16 points and 8 rebounds a game. I mean, that's big time. So that's probably one that I'm highly considering traveling down for, just to see the big matchup in San Antonio.
Okay. Storm and Norman. Might have called him Storm and Norman. He came in like a storm for these last 7-8 games he's been through there. So
and it's good to hear that Norman's putting up good numbers. I know in the summer it was kind of an up and down, just trying to build some consistency with him. But now, hearing that he's really coming along, that's a real good thing.
For sure. And Brennan just has a whole bunch of talent. It doesn't even stop there. They have a couple of other 9.5, 10-point per game scorers that can really, really change the impact of the game and the outcome.
And that's going to be pretty good because, like you say, that's a battle for first place. It's a battle for first place?
Yes, sir. The battle for first place in UIL 6A District 28.
So that's gonna be rocking, man. That's gonna be rocking. And then, like you said, even going back to the Louisville and Hebron, that's a battle of 1 and 2. So that's kind of
that's a battle of 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Louisville, Capel's number 1 in that district right now.
Really?
Capel's number 1. They've only lost 1 district game. That was against Louisville, and that was in a buzz. That was a 4-point game. 4-point game. So yeah.
That's gonna be that's a fire district then, man. They really got the top is now. That's first through third. Now, as the 4th place team, are they pretty even?
They're solid. They're serviceable. They compete. Forgot who the 4th place team was, but I mean, it's a team that you can't sleep on, or you can't be lackadaisical with by any means.
No doubt. So, who's gonna be another good game out there in Central Texas area to check out, Brandon?
Under the radar game to check out is actually a private school TAP 6A matchup, and it will be between Antonian College Prep and St. Mary's Hall in San Antonio. Antonian College Prep is coached by Rudy Bernal, and they have 3 stud sophomores in Juan Reyna, Gabino Ramos, and Byron Armstrong. They really lead the team. They really score the majority of their points, and they get after it. They play hard, and they're very, very confident on the offensive end. St. Mary's Hall is coached by Barry Chamberlain, and they go as far as the twins go, the Euster twins. I apologize if I got that name wrong, but Avery and Benjamin Euster, they go after it. They're always threats to score 20+. Avery has had a great season, averaging around 23 to 25 points per game, and he just gets busy.
So, and they got 2 twins.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
How are they? How big are they? They compete then?
Oh yeah, they compete. They play on the perimeter, and then they can go inside. They can attack the rim as well. They're around 6'3" both of them. So they have good size, especially at that TAPS level. So yeah, it should be a very good one.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm definitely put like this, guys. Unless y'all want to do it, I'm not gonna ask for any predictions from anybody. I just want everybody to know we just want to know everybody know what the games of the week are. Who you need to be going to watch.
I can get some predictions, love. You want some predictions? I can give you some predictions.
All right, we'll do that towards the end. So, let's go. We got 5 games of the week for tomorrow. So, game number 3 in Dallas. Who we got, Ani?
Well, I can give you 3 and 4. So that a 4A District 12 that comprises of Dallas Carter, Wilmer Hutchins, Dallas Lincoln, and surprising this year Dallas Pinkston. So you got Carter. They play Lincoln on Saturday. So these are 2 Saturday games. So you got Dallas Carter versus Lincoln. I don't have the time when they play, nor when Hutchins played Pinkston, but Lincoln's number 9 in 4A, and then Carter's number 10. And of course, Carter made it to the state championship game last year. Then they lost to Silsby. They're in that shootout with Silsby last year. So you got 2 teams really. You got about 3 teams really jockeying for that first place spot in that district, and that Lincoln versus Carter game is going to be really big.
Ooh. That's number 9 and 10 in the state.
Yeah, Lincoln's number 9, Carter's number 10.
And both of those are DISD schools, right?
Yeah, the ISD schools.
Man, and it's a Saturday, so hopefully. See, I don't know how Saturday games usually be up in the Metroplex area. Do the Saturday games usually get packed in the Metroplex area, or is it just the weekend because students are still close?
If it's a game, if it's like a rivalry game or a really good game, it's generally packed. Carter versus Lincoln's going to be packed. I can tell you that. I can tell you that everyone's going to be out there definitely.
Yeah. That's
got about 3 Division I prospects in that game. With Carter, you got the kid that signed with Grambling. Forgot his name.
Zahad Mumford.
Yeah, Zahad Mumford. Gets a lot of things done. But Coach Love, he'll play 12 guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter just with the pace he plays and how hard they play. They're just interchangeable spots where guys just go in and they just compete, rebound, push the ball up the floor, and get easy transitional buckets. And then you got Lincoln. You got Quintez Grimes, about 6'7", junior, talented. Rebounds, utilizes his length on both ends. Then you got Cameron Johnson, strong guard. He's a junior, if I believe, and really able to get into the paint, finish versus length and in traffic. He's just a hard cover for especially a high school guard, just due to size and just in a mix of length, mix of speed and just athleticism.
Okay. That's gonna be fun. I might have to jump on 45 North if I have some time to come check it out. Hey, if they was playing all day like we talked about, back to back.
Yeah, they're one arena. Yeah, I would tell you.
You best believe I'd be in the building a whole lot because it's a whole lot. I don't like. There's no need to drive 3.5 hours to one game, two games. But,
you go there for
playoffs. But during the playoffs, it's all right.
Right. Then you got Hutchins versus Pinkston. So Hutchins number 1 in 4A right now. They're 23-3. They play Pinkston. Pinkston last year only won 7 games. So this year they won 14 so far. So it's been a big turnaround for Coach Cedric Griffin, who's one of my coaches. I would definitely I wanted to talk about just the year turnaround with those guys. But Pinkston, Pinkston was probably last in that district last year. Now they're coming in. They're definitely going to be a playoff team. They have a chance to be a playoff team, and just that turnaround. And I think they're going to give Wilmer Hutchins a good fight. Well, Wilmer Hutchins they got seniors. They're led by seniors. They're experienced. I think they were 1 or 2 games away from making it to the Final Four last year. And so in San Antonio, so it's going to be a good game, and I think Pinkston's going to give it all they have. I ain't saying they're going to win. That ain't my prediction, but I think it's going to be a real close game.
Okay, so Pinkston's going to put up a fight, but Hutchins come in with a little bit more experience and the pedigree behind him.
Yeah, you can't undervalue experience. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And winning experience brings wins, and winning means something to me. But so give me 2 more up in the Syntax area, Brandon. Who we got? Who we looking at?
My third game that y'all should look out for is another San Antonio matchup between New Braunfels, who comes in at 20-12 and 4-6 in district play, and they'll be visiting Cibolo Steel, who is 21-8 overall and 8-2 in district play, and they're currently tied for first with Sherds Clemens, if I said that right. But New Braunfels is coached by David Brammer. They're currently 5th place. They're a senior-laden team. But the reason why I chose this game specifically is because they upset Cibolo Steel the first time they matched up by 1 point. So there's going to be a lot on the line. I know Steel will come back ready to play hard, ready to fight, and let them know that, hey, y'all can't hang on the same court as us. Talent-wise, Cibolo still has 3 kids that really stand out, specifically the sophomore Langston Love. He's currently being recruited by Baylor and UTSA. He's a strong 2-guard. He attacks the rim, good size at 6'4", and he can be a threat to go for 25+ when he wants to. Then they also have 2 talented athletic seniors in Elijah Comithier and Quabena Davis. Quabena can score off the bounce, but then when you get him out in transition, he finishes above the rim in the open floor. He's really long, wiry, fun to watch. And then Elijah Comithier, another long wing, 6'5", but what stands out about him is his 2-way presence, very versatile on the defensive end, can guard on ball, will protect the rim, and then will score softly around the paint and hit a three when his feet are set. So it should be a great matchup in UIL 6A District 26.
The atmosphere is gonna be pretty good on that. Then it seemed like. I wonder if they come out. Do they come out to the games in Central Texas like they do in the Metroplex area for a high level game like this? When you start talking about New Braunfels and Sabalo Steel, you think they come out? The fans come out to support that?
I think they will for this one. I really think they will for this one, just because of the upset last time. I don't think if New Braunfels upset Sabalo Steel their first time go around, nobody would really come to it. But I think there's a lot on the line for this one. I think the coach will have their team fired up and ready to go.
I agree. You're right. They might come out here because it's kind of like our nationally ranked, one of our nationally ranked Texas college teams, University of Houston. They lost to Temple in a close game.
They got Temple
only lost, and then they play again tonight in the city of Houston, and the game is sold out. So people come to see this rematch. They come to see Temple get get throttled on. They're going to get them to get stomped. So shout out to the Cougs and Coach Sampson and U of H, University of Houston Cougars over there. So
really, really good job this year.
Playing great basketball.
They've been rolling. Who else we got? The fourth matchup out of the five over there, Brandon. Who we got?
So the fourth matchup will take place in Copers Cove, Central Texas, where Colleen Shoemaker will go and visit the Bulldogs of Copers Cove. Colleen Shoemaker is coached by Coach Brandon Gilbert, who was an assistant coach at South Grand Prairie, if I'm not mistaken, and he is doing a great job with this Wolves team. He has them playing hard. He's actually going to be one of the coaches that I'll talk about later. Colleen Shoemaker is 12-1 in district, and they sit on top of that district looking down upon Waco Midway and Colleen Ellison in District 12. They're led by Jawan Roberts, who it's funny that you mentioned Houston because that's where he'll be attending school next fall, who has really expanded his offensive game. He's stepping out. The last game I went to, they played Midway on Tuesday night. He went 5 for 6 from the three-point line, but that is definitely not his specialty. He is a very skilled defensive player, long arms, has great timing on his when he looks to swat shots, and he just knows how to impact the game tremendously on the defensive end. And then Shoemaker.
That's a good get for U of H. U of H, they got a good one.
Oh yeah, he will be a great
someone that I think will be a 4-year contributor for them.
For sure.
Need that. And Shoemaker's playing who's the opponent?
Copers Cove.
Copers Cove. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Copers Cove. They that's all Colleen shootout, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, a small town like that, like I was in Monroe this past weekend. I had to go see a doubleheader. I went to go watch La Tech and Western Kentucky. Then I went to go watch Grambling and Jackson State. And so
saw some good games.
Yeah, I did. I saw some good games. I saw some really good games. And them small little towns like that, no disrespect to Colleen. Tayshawn Thomas from there. I love my guy. They usually bring it out for them type of games. They come pack the drum, as how they say. They're gonna pack it in down there. So I can see that, especially with it. That's a Friday night game as well, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Friday night, I believe at 8:00 p.m. I might be wrong. It might be 7:30, but Friday night. And I know Copers Cove is looking to come to play. The last time these teams faced each other, Copers Cove lost by 5 points, and their star player Quentin Ford had 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And so I know he's coming back looking to get his win, looking to get a vengeance.
No doubt. Well, hey, even if it is an 8:00 game, get there at 7:15. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. So make sure you get there early. So Ani, back to the Metroplex for our last game of the weekend. Who we got? Who we looking at?
So the fifth game, we got Prosper versus Allen. Well, Allen's actually going to play at Prosper. I believe that's a 7:30 game. Don't quote me on that. I guess you are because I'm on film. But it's a District 9 game. Prosper, they're 6-4 in district, ranked 24th in the state. And then you got Allen, who's ranked 6th in the state right now. Allen's only lost 3 games. They recently lost to Jesuit. I was at that game last week. That was a packed game. It was hot. Probably one of the hottest gyms I've been to all year.
Mm-hmm.
You got Prosper. They got about 2 kids. They got a kid that transferred from Illinois, got a chance to be a Division I player. They got Grant Schaub, guard, and then at Allen you got Isaiah Stevens, who signed to Colorado State, and then you got a sophomore, Manny Obaseki, who's really intriguing, freakishly athletic. I think I saw a film on Twitter or video on Twitter where he did between the legs dunk in the fast break. So yeah, so I mean, athleticism. He definitely has. Other parts of the game's coming along, but really interesting matchup. Allen's probably gonna, I think Allen holds on to get the win, but it's a good matchup. And then I want to highlight two. I know we did 5, Coach, but I want to highlight just 2 more. And it's not actually DFW, but we got DFW teams playing. So in Arkansas, you got Universal Academy out of Dallas, who hold, they got Arthur Kaluma, the sophomore Arthur Kaluma. Big man Cameron Waste just came back in. Jaquan Scott Jr. They're playing out there in Arkansas. They're playing Team Mid-South, who has a 7'3" senior. So it's going to be a good battle for some frontline guys. And then you got iSchool. They're playing out in Arkansas as well. They're playing Southwest Christian. Southwest Christian, they have the kid that signed to Western Kentucky, Nick Agenda. I think he's a top 65 player in the country. And then you got iSchool with Jonathan Aku, who best big man in the state of Texas right now. So
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. Best big man in the state of Texas. Now, is this a shootout, a classic that they
so Trinity Basketball League. So they got 6A Trinity League. They're hosting an event in Arkansas, Southwest Christian shootout, and you got 2 DFW teams with some really big time matchups out there.
Nice. Okay, well that's gonna be good. They go to Arkansas. Let's see how far a ride is that from Dallas to Arkansas? About 3.5, 4 hours or so?
4.5, 5 hours.
Okay. Hey, go up there and get it done, guys. Represent the great state of Texas, in particular the DFW, the Metroplex area. Okay, I'm good with that. Who we got, B? Who's our other matchup up there in the Central Texas area?
The final matchup that I have in the Central Texas area will take place in Austin. It'll be the 9th-ranked Austin Westlake Chaparrals. They'll be visiting Austin Anderson and to take on the Trojans. Austin Westlake is coached by Robert Lucero, and they're currently undefeated in district play. They go as far as their front court goes. They're led by 5-star big man Will Baker, who will be attending UT next year. He really changes the game as a 7-footer who can step out and knock down multiple threes. Then you have Darius McBride, the SMU signee, who is extremely an aggressive slasher, long and strong, and gets after it on both ends. And then you have the young sophomore KJ Adams, who is ranked top 30 nationally currently, and he plays inside and out, strong, does a lot of physical work, looks to use his strength to score around the rim. So that's the key players for them. They go as far as their front court goes, but also be on the lookout for their point guard, Ian Mowat, because he shoots. If he's open, he's going to let it fly, and it's going to be all net. So be on the lookout for them. But with Austin Anderson, their key player is Max Smith, a lights-out shooter who can potentially shoot them into the game. With Westlake playing down to their competition as they usually do, or have they done this season, Max Smith actually has a chance to lead this Anderson team to a victory.
Okay, all right, and I know offhand, Westlake. You like Westlake, and sometimes like you said, they play down a little bit. They kind of disappoint you a little bit that they got so much talent and they play down their competition. But Coach Lucero has been he deals with a lot of different personalities a lot, so he's been doing real good with that right now. We know what he's got to go, what he has went through, and what he continues to go through. And the good thing about it is he's got the guys fighting, like you said, they're in first place in their district, man. That's big time right there. So shout out to them now. And then speaking about Allen, I watched going back to that. I watched Allen play Jesuit the first time. I think they played at Allen, and they had a live feed on Facebook. So I got a chance to watch it that game. Isaiah Stevens really lit them up, but Jesuit, man, they hit shots out after shot after shot, big shots. And like you say, they played again at Jesuit just this past weekend. Jesuit won again.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you right now, that was the hottest gym I've been to all year. I mean, I had to take my jacket off. It was hot. But Jesuit, I mean, they had Julius Marble, because Julius Marble, the first game, I think he got hurt, so he didn't play a majority of the game. Jesuit still won, but this game, just really imposed his will inside. Got, exposed mismatches inside, finished with either hand, and he played with a sense of urgency. And it's been a good week for Julius Marble, because yesterday or the day before, I know he got an offer from Oklahoma State. I remember talking to Julius Marble at the Whataburger. He was he hasn't been major offers. I know he was getting some. I know LSU came to watch him play at the Whataburger. I know Minnesota was really interesting. He's been talking to them a lot. I know A&M. He said he was talking to them, and Michigan State. He said they came down a couple weeks before then to come watch him play. So Julius Marble's been holding tight, just seeing where his recruitment has been going, and compiling some really strong outings. That's really been helping him out.
Okay, Juju, shoot. Julius Marble. I'm all right with that. There's some good names that's been coming down here to see him. Hey, I don't know if Michigan State might not like this, but that Midwest is freezing right now, man. They put train tracks on fire.
Chicago, the doorknob's getting froze. So that.
Man, it's terrible. Yeah, my family's up there, so I had to check on them last night and make sure everybody was good throughout the day. But
they're doing good.
Everybody's straight. Now let's talk about give me a quick rundown, Brandon. Give us some players to watch, whether some guys that we are in these games of the week, just general that you like. Look, man, when you get a chance to come to town, call me. I'll let you know who to go check out. These guys, if you need a good fit for this and that, who are some guys that we can watch in that area?
I think the number one guy that you got to come down here and watch if you're in the Austin area is Greg Brown III. He is one of the best players in the country. And the first week I was down here, I took it upon myself to go on a Friday night and watch them match up with Hendrickson. And it was just a sight to see. The game went into overtime and won off a buzzer-beating shot. But the way Greg Brown puts his team on his back and carries them and gets them into either leads them to victories or close losses, it is ridiculous. He is a threat to go for 40 points each night he steps out on the floor, because nobody can stop his penetration. Nobody can deal with his athleticism. And if he gets hot from three, then you really are out of luck. You're out of luck. Another player might be Isaac Bullard from Pflugerville Hendrickson. He's just a bulldog. He gets to the rim. He finishes through any form of contact. He's built like a linebacker. He handles the ball well, and he puts his team in the right position and leads them to victories. They're currently in first place in their district. I couldn't tell you what district it is, but it's very competitive. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're still undefeated within their district because, I think they're still undefeated within their district. I don't think they've lost a game yet, but those are two players for sure that y'all should be on the lookout for: Pflugerville Hendrickson, Isaac Bullard, and Austin Vandergrift, Greg Brown III.
How big is Isaac Bullard? He's
about 6'3", 200 pounds. He has to be 200 pounds. This kid is stocky. He'll be going he signed with the Navy, so that's where he'll be going. No, he signed with Army. My fault. My fault. Yeah, okay. That's where he'll be.
Right. There it is. So who we got in the Metroplex? Who we looking at? Give us some guys, man. Let everybody know who's been standing out, who's deserving of some attention.
Dante Houston out of Garland Lakeview Centennial. Always enjoyed watching him play. Plays hard, rebounds, athletic. His offensive game has really been coming along. He's a kid that been getting some high major interest. School's been calling, and I think he's a kid to definitely go out and see. Dante Houston, about 6'7", 6'8". I just like how he competes and he plays hard, and he just possesses a game that translates to the next level. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you got DFW, you got RJ Hampton, always a treat. He's always capable of putting up 40, 45-point outings. Tyrese Maxey, who signed with Kentucky. Another kid that definitely want to talk about, Jakeevan Lethbridge out of Wilmer Hutchins. I didn't get to touch on him. Just recently put out like a 50-point outing. I think it was about a week or so ago. Yeah. Unsigned senior. he's definitely getting things done for Wilmer Hutchins. He's one of those seniors that just really he's taking that next step in his game and just being a leader, being more assertive, and just playing with some more consistency. It's been.
So? Does he have any offers?
Not that I know of. I think he may have some D2s. I know JUCO's really been calling about him.
Okay.
I don't think he has Division I offers.
Okay, well, if you put up some numbers like that, and what level are they? What tier are they? 6A, 5A?
4A.
4A. It's still a good level. Still a good level. You can put up some numbers like that. I don't care what level you have. If you can put up numbers like that,
yeah, you put up.
Need to come check you out. People need to come check you out.
And I thought he finished the summer strong. Jakeven has always just been, you could say, always kind of been a hit and miss. Sometimes when you watch him play in the previous years, but I think he's starting to really trying to figure it out. And when Jakeven's on, he's a really, really good basketball player.
Absolutely. Well, cool. I tell you what, we're gonna get ready to wind it down a little bit, but as we get ready to wind it down, let's talk about some of these coaches. Coaches don't get a lot of credit. They go through a whole lot, man. In transition, they got to, many times they got to do the classroom. Well, in Houston, they got to do the classroom. And in Dallas, is a little different. I don't know how it is in Central Texas. They probably got to do the classroom as well, some of them. But irregardless of that, give us some coaches that have been maybe caught your eye with some of the things they've been doing for their program. Brandon, you want to
go? Sure. The first coach I want to shout out is one that I talked about. He coaches the number 16 team in the state. That's Brandon Gilbert of Colleen Shoemaker. And I just love the way he has his team playing. They play hard and they bought into his system. And they'll press you 94 feet and they'll get after it. They play hard to win. And Gilbert is very intense. Coach Gilbert is very intense. But shout out to him for having the ability to coach his players in a way where he's teaching them, they're understanding, and they're not looking at him just from a yelling standpoint. They're looking at him to learn, to get better, and to play hard. Another coach is Coach Beatty from Lake Travis, Coach Clint Beatty. Lake Travis is currently ranked 15 in the state, which is really, really impressive considering the fact that they're missing their two best players in California signee DJ Thorpe and their starting point guard, who's one of the most composed best competitive point guards in the state, and Ryan Borman, and they're still finding a way to figure it out and get wins. They played Austin Westlake without their two best players and only lost by 3 points. So Clint Beatty is doing a real great job over there at Lake Travis. And then another one who is very out west is Paul Gutierrez of El Paso Burgess. Their team is led by one guy. The offense is ran through one guy, and that's Tristan Newton. He leads the state in scoring at almost 39 points per game and is one of the top scorers in the country. But I still think it's very impressive that all their players are doing their role, playing hard, playing great defense, grabbing rebounds, and putting themselves in the position to win. And they're currently top 5 in 5A and can be a real threat to make a run all the way down to San Antonio.
They're ready, huh? They're ready. I like that. So, what happened with Thorpe?
DJ Thorpe had an ankle injury in, I think, 3 to 4 games into the season, and now he's out for the season.
Oh, okay.
He's out for the season. And then Ryan Borman had a thumb injury, I believe. He had a cast on his hand when I went to go watch him play. And so he's out. But Lake Travis is still finding a way to get things done. So that's very impressive.
Gotcha. Okay. Ani, what we got up in Dallas? Give me some coaches. No, it's a lot of them up there, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch on 6. I'm gonna brief on 6. So we talked about Wilmer Hutchins earlier. So Coach Billups with TJ Billups with Wilmer Hutchins. 23-3, number 1 in 4A. Definitely, team, like I said, team that lost was close to the Final Four last year. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're coming back to prime to make it to San Antonio this year. David Peavy out of Duncanville. First year taking a job. You had getting new players, and like we talked about earlier, just it takes time to really get those kids really bought in and playing with each other. And like I said, taking some tough losses early, but now, win the Whataburger. You're number 1 in the state of Texas in 6A right now. And they're a team that looks like they're going to make it to San Antonio. And just that even though it took some time, but in reality, it's kind of quick. It's kind of quick how that happened within just in one season. You go from a team that's not looking very good, look good on paper, but I look good, very good to now, got a chance to make it to San Antonio. Brian Miller with Louisville, we talked about in the key matchups against Hebron. You know, Louisville only won 6 games last year. So now they're 23-6. They won 8 games in district. And Coach Miller, in his first year, just turned the program around. Of course, adding kids like, you know, KJ Pruitt and Keontae George helps, you know. But, you know, it's still a team game. And just getting those kids really bought in. I see their bench. There's a lot more energy. The kids really listen to him, play hard for him. And, you know, like you said, that's always a compliment to the coach when the kids are doing that, especially in the first year. Brandon Thomas, Faith Family. So Faith Family, they're actually number 2 in 4A right now. They start 2 freshmen, Jordan Walsh and Trey Clayton. He's done a really good job. I know they were a fringe playoff team. I don't think they made the playoffs last year, but now they're in position. You know, they can make a run with a young group. Coach Farron Douglas out of Lancaster, number 1 in 5A. Got Wade Taylor and then Mike Miles out of Lancaster, and they 19-2 this year. They won 16 games last year, so they seen a quick turnaround. And again, talked about Cedric Griffin from Pinkston. Coach, last year I went to a game, and I'll just touch on it real quick. I went to a game last year. I was behind the bench, and I know Coach was it was tough. It was tough. Just waving the ball, kids doing. He's calling a play out. Kids jacking up a 3 from the volleyball line. So I know it's really been a process, and they got the kid that committed that signed with SFA, Samaje Hart, and just seeing what that was last year into now, it's just night and day. And, you know, Coach Griffin really put in some work to get these kids bought into what he's preaching. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to do that, and definitely want to give him a shout out for that.
Okay. That's good. Like I recognize a lot of those names. Some of them, a couple of them I didn't, but I'm always open to. I recognize the school for sure, but I start laughing because when you talk about Farron, Coach Douglas, I don't want to say Farron, but Coach Douglas. It's always just exciting to me. Kind of exciting to watch him play because he be up and down that sideline. He don't stand. He be all up on him, man. And you know what? The kids buy in and they take his communication and they respond to it. And man, I like the energy that he shows. You know what I mean? I'm sure
he holds the kids accountable. He holds the kids accountable, and they respond. Like you said, they respond well to it. And I like how he just, you know, he challenges them and they respond. You know. That when you got kids that are doing that and believe in what you're saying, you know, that's a long way. Yeah. Well, look, man, this is our games of the week. Hopefully we can get you guys to maybe commit to doing this 1 or 2 times a week, because obviously at least 1 time a week, because you got games Tuesday, primarily Tuesdays and Friday, Tuesday, Thursdays, or Friday, Tuesday, Fridays. And then we got the playoffs coming up, man. So we're going to have to get some brackets going. We got to talk about it and put everybody back in line. But listen, for everybody that's tuned in, make sure you check out Brandon Jenkins on Twitter. Follow him. He's Brandon_Jenkins5. The 5 is instead of the S.
Yes, sir.
and then we got Ani Umana, ANI_Umana, UMANA. So these guys are going to be some of our basketball connoisseurs. I talked to Blueser Tucci the other day. He wants to get back inside the booth and be able to talk some basketball with everybody as well. So we're going to get a lot of this going, and I think it's going to continue to feed and keep the coaches, the players, and even the parents updated on what's going on. So
definitely. I appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. We appreciate you all. Like I said, we'll get together. Hopefully we mark your schedule. Maybe we can do some Mondays and Thursdays or things of that nature, but we'll get it together. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for being inside the booth, letting the city, the state, and everybody know about what the games of the week are. We let some college coaches, hopefully they'll eventually start clicking in more and knowing exactly some players that they need to be watching, the teams that they need to be watching, and some of these coaches who they can be respected, understand that they're good teachers in the game of basketball. So any departing words, any closing words as we get ready to get out of here?
No, I appreciate you again, and definitely look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Brandon.
Yeah, just repeating what Ani said, thank you for having us, and I look forward to it again. I have fun talking basketball.
Absolutely. Y'all take it easy, and we'll see you soon.
All right, you too.
All right. So That was Brandon Jenkins and Ani Umana out of the Brandon's in the Central Texas area, which is Killeen, Austin, San Antonio, Pflugerville, all of the cities and the towns in that area, the smaller metroplex in that area. Then we got Ani Umana, who's out of the Dallas metroplex area, talking basketball, man. And look, it's nothing like knowing who are these guys, who we need to go watch this weekend. And they laying it out for you. They letting you know who the teams are to go watch, who's going to be some of the best matchups with Duncanville and J.J. Pierce, right, with Drew Timme and things of that nature. That's going to be some great matchups. You got to want to be able to see it, okay? So thanks for tuning in. We're going to, like we said, we're going to try to get those guys in at least once a week for sure, and twice as we get ready to lead up into these high school playoffs and talk about it, so you all will be able to know who the matchups are and so who the games to see are. Do us a favor as you get ready to leave. Before you leave out here, tap that subscribe button. Just tap it. It just takes a little small tap, and it helps you to be updated on who we have inside the booth and when we'll be broadcasting. Also, hit the share button if you choose to, so we can put it back out so your friends and family can see and we can talk basketball. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Twitter at Inside Booth on Twitter. Send us the game, a player or coach, a player did well, a team played well. Send us their information. We'll retweet it. We'll talk about trying to get some of these guys inside the booth. Remember, we're all about we're talking basketball right now with the adults, but right now we're all about trying to get some information, communication with the players. We want to be able to showcase these players, their personalities, who they are, so people can get a better chance to know them outside the court. What makes them tick? What are they like? And that's what's going to continue. That was our purpose of starting Inside the Booth. It has evolved into doing a lot of other things, and it will be continued to evolve. But until then, we're going to be a slow, steady progression, and we need your support. So again, if you click that subscribe button and share it, let some friends know, we can continue to grow. Until next time, for Brandon Jenkins and Ani Umana, I'm Marlon Lowe. Thanks for joining us Inside the Booth. Games of the week. Enjoy.